Hey everybody, good morning. What a strange morning it is today. It really is. There was a lot of conflicting information going around yesterday, and um, it's we think of people who are really strong and everything else as always being there, right? We think, oh, they're always going to be there. Um, and normally those people have very strong personalities, and so we never think of them getting sick enough, at least not anytime soon, for an illness to take them. um I was just talking about this a couple weeks ago. Same thing. I was saying that one of the strongest people I knew recently died of COVID. It's a similar situation. I mean, I'm going to share with you guys some information about Kristen, only because I think it's important for people to know some of the stuff that is going on at these hospitals. And a couple weeks ago, I was talking about one of my friends dying and how I couldn't get a hold of him. I kept texting him and he never replied. And after a couple weeks, I said, there's no way he could not be replying. And, even if he lost his phone or something happened, we've been friends for almost, 11 years, and there's no way that he would just not reply to my messages. And yeah, he had died of COVID. But I talked to one of Kristen's friends last night, and I know a lot of you are in shock. A lot of you want to know what happened. And some people have been posting, one of her best friends has been posting information as far as, exactly when she died and whatever else. But so she had been sick for a couple weeks, and I maybe she thought it was just a cold or a flu, something that wasn't all that serious. And she had just got back from Virginia and having a cosmetic procedure done. And then she wanted to travel to California to the New Year's party and to she had a New Year's Day rally in Santa Monica, which I was also supposed to go to. But it seems to me that it all just started carrying on from the last 2 weeks of December. And she didn't really take it all that serious. And the problem is that once she got to California and she ended up at one of these hospitals in California, it just all got worse from there. I talked to one of her friends, and apparently on Tuesday, and this is something probably nobody else knows, on Tuesday, Kristen left the hospital. She left the hospital on Tuesday. Tried anyway. And she was able to get into her friend's car. And she was having a really hard time breathing. But the hospital refused to give her oxygen to take home. And those are the type of, I didn't want to make anything bigger out of this, because at the end of the day, Kristen is gone. But for those of you who know me and who have followed me closely, you know how much I'm against a lot of the things that happen at hospitals. For those of you who have been following for a while, know that I always talk about this. The reason why I always talk about this type of stuff is because I think a lot of people unnecessarily die in hospitals. And is my sound gone? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, because there's something that's been happening with Facebook with my sound. So let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, please react in some way or comment that you can hear me. Okay. Thank you, Julie. So, Kristen was released on Tuesday. She was released from the hospital on Tuesday. And she tried leaving. She tried getting into her friend's car and wanted to go home. She called her friend to get her out of there, and she did. She left the hospital, but then they had to bring her right back because the hospital refused to give her oxygen to take home. Her friend is devastated, guys, because oxygen and her leaving would have probably saved her life. I mean, by this point, she had already been in the hospital for 7 days. Tuesday was the 4th, so she had been in there for about 6-7 days, and she wanted to leave. And apparently things got bad in the hospital, and they also found out she wasn't vaccinated. And those are the type of questions that at this point it's the only thing that matters. And the reason why is because in the end, we can't get Kristen back. There's nothing we could do to bring her back. She's gone. She's gone over bacterial pneumonia. Apparently, California has some type of restriction on certain antibiotics. And I guess that's a state. I mean, I'm not very, I don't have the details about that, but apparently California has restrictions on certain antibiotics. I'll find out more. But 7 days in the hospital, and they couldn't treat her bacterial pneumonia. They couldn't get rid of it, really? 7 days in the hospital? In an expensive hospital in Camarillo, California? St. John's Hospital? And they couldn't get rid of her bacterial pneumonia? Guys, I'm going to share this with you, and I've shared it before, but if we can learn anything from Kristen's death, I can't believe I'm saying that, is that that we got to take care of ourselves, because it seems to me that these hospitals are either not doing what they're supposed to do, or they just don't care, or maybe in her case they wanted her to go down as another COVID death. I don't know. I don't know if her death certificate will say COVID. I'm not sure, but her friend and who was there next to her and who got her out of the hospital on Tuesday got her out of the hospital, said that it was bacterial pneumonia. My dad was in the hospital. My stepdad was in the hospital 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and he had really bad pneumonia as well, and he had gotten bypass surgery. So so you guys know, normally when those two things they combine, it's normally lethal between the pneumonia and the heart conditions. And he was in an induced coma, and from long distance, because I was in California, I got a call from my mom, and she told me what was going on with him, and she told me he was dying, and that the doctors had given him 3 days to live at most. And I told her, please get to Whole Foods or whatever you have near you. I'm not sure what, because they were in Pennsylvania. And I told him exactly what to get him. And within 3 days, he was recovered. Within 5 days, he was able to go home. The doctors had given up on every antibiotic that they had given him because they weren't working anymore. My mom gave that to him without, their knowledge, whatever I told her to do for him. And he was back in front of the television at his house by Christmas Day. So there's a lot of information that either the doctors and Hospitals don't know, or they're just not doing anything about it. Or sometimes even the strongest antibiotics just won't work anymore because your body becomes immune to them, resistant to them. And it comes to a point where you can't keep on attacking your body. You got to let your body attack whatever's wrong with you. So that's all I'm going to say. It's a very dangerous topic nowadays. That's all I'm going to say. But Kristen did try leaving the hospital on Tuesday. And yeah, her dad did die also. And that, I'm assuming when she found out, it probably lowered her immunity as well, So, all I can tell you guys, and I'll tell you again, she tried leaving the hospital. The hospital refused to give her oxygen to take with her. Apparently the hospital got very nasty with her. That was on Tuesday. Very, dramatic and everything else, and even asked how many people she had given COVID to. Something maybe to do with her vaccine or the fact that she was not vaccinated. But this has nothing to do with her being vaccinated or not. This has nothing to do with the vaccine. And no, she didn't die of COVID. And they got very nasty and dramatic with her, apparently. That was Tuesday. A nurse and her friend had to carry her back into the hospital. But again, they refused to give her oxygen to take home with her. Kristen had a lot of money, guys. I'm sure money wasn't an issue for her. And I'm sure she could have paid for whatever needed to be paid, Kristen was a millionaire. She could have paid for whatever she needed to pay for, And being in one of these hospitals, unfortunately, even having the money to pay for whatever she needed wasn't enough. They refused to give her whatever she needed, from what I understand, which was oxygen. But my only thing is, please take care of yourselves, because the hospitals aren't going to take care of you. And Kristen's the prime example of that. 7 days in a hospital, and they still could not. They still couldn't keep her alive. Apparently, from what her friend says, she passed away yesterday around 8 in the morning, maybe. Her friend, who also lives in Camarillo, is going down to the hospital today to get more information, because they won't give us any information over the phone. And yeah, she tried leaving the hospital on Tuesday. She got out, went into a car, and was too weak. Exactly, Baldy, couldn't or wouldn't. And they even mentioned her not getting the vaccine and spreading COVID. What does bacterial pneumonia have to do with COVID? It has nothing to do with it. But she was too weak. Her friend says that when she was sitting in the car, her eyes were literally like rolling, like to the back of her head. She was incoherent, but she wanted to leave. And she couldn't stay out for long and had to go right back in. But she did make it out to her friend's car on Tuesday. So the whole thing is just shocking. It's sad, it's shocking. And all I can tell you guys is, please learn from this experience, because Kristen was very well known and very loved by a lot of people, very admired and respected. And you know, especially California hospitals, from what I hear now, we got to be really careful with them. Very careful with them. Again, apparently some of the some antibiotics are not allowed to be used in California. I think it varies from state to state. And she was definitely denied oxygen to take home. I wasn't there, but that's what her friend says. She was denied oxygen to be taken with her. And so she went back in on Tuesday. She was there Wednesday. And she died yesterday. So they were never able to combat her pneumonia in 7 days. Because she originally checked in on the 30th. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your own body. And if you feel you do have any type of, bacterial, any type of viral issue, take extra care of yourselves, Wear your mask if you have to, because it does protect you from any outside allergens and whatever else. Masks have been around for decades, guys. Don't politicize them. Don't politicize them. Don't play with your life, I know they've been politicized to the max. The face covers, the masks, but I remember back in 2018, I was in a very heavy traffic area with the migrants, and they told me, wear a mask, and I was like, a mask? Why would I wear that? And they said, because all those migrants probably have infectious diseases, right? And I said, whatever, I would wear a mask here and there. This was back in 2018, guys, way before the pandemic. And sure enough, I ended up with bronchitis and with a nebulizer for almost 2 weeks. And on my way to pneumonia. And I was lucky not to end up in the hospital. So don't take things to an extreme, I wish I could have gotten to her at least on January 1st and helped her in any way to strengthen her immune system. But again, on the 31st, they refused to tell me where she was at. I could guarantee you if she would have gotten help by the 1st, she could have probably made her immune system strong enough to fight off this infection. My dad was able to do it from an induced coma. I think Kristen would have been able to do it, and my dad was a lot older, and also had heart conditions. And he was able to walk out of the hospital from an induced coma. So, she's gone. And if you can learn anything from this, is to take care of yourselves and try not to rely on obviously we need hospitals. We do for so many things, but I think she's a prime example that they don't always work. And maybe she got special treatment. Maybe she got special treatment for not having a vaccine. Maybe. Special treatment. Different treatment. Who knows? I don't know. But, I didn't want to say any of that yesterday only because I didn't have any facts, but I spent a while on the phone with one of her best friends yesterday who was there at the hospital with her and the one that got her out. And then I talked to her again this morning, and from what I'm hearing, they were upset about her not having a vaccine. And that's all I'm going to say. So, and she was also denied oxygen to take home with her. So I know that a lot of you were very big fans of hers and really want to know what happened. So there's a few more details. I told you that I would give you more details as far as her as a person, if I had any more. how can you trust them? My sister died on September 13 in a hospital in Marietta, California. I know. People, make sure you're taking your vitamins. I agree. I think she would have made it. I agree. I agree. But she's gone. It's such a helpless feeling to know that there's nothing we can do. We can't go back. We can't. That's why I was so persistent on the 31st. And I asked her, what hospital are you at? You know? But I couldn't even stay on the phone with her for long. They wouldn't even let her. I only talked to her for 3 minutes. It wasn't even that long. Yeah, Ricky is. I talked to Ricky last night too. It's crazy. Now Ben Berkwam is in the hospital with pneumonia as well. So take care of yourselves, guys. And again, please don't politicize disease, you know? Because here's the thing. We start saying, oh, it's COVID and I'll be fine, or, you know, whatever. And so I don't have, I have a 99 point something survival rate from this. I'll be fine, you know. Guys, don't think that way. No, you won't be fine. Kristen is dead. And I'm not saying she died from COVID. I'm not saying that. She didn't die from COVID. She died from from bacterial pneumonia. But we have to take care of ourselves. We're not made of steel. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to take the week off, take the week off. If you need to wear a damn mask, wear a damn mask. Not for everybody else, not because of COVID, not because of what Biden says, not because of what this one says and that one says, because of you, to protect your own breathing, to protect yourself from what's out there, not other people, but from the environment. It helps. Sometimes when I feel I need one, I put it on. You know, why not? It's cold out there. I was walking around New York City with a mask on. It's freezing out there. It'll give me some extra protection, you know? And I had COVID. Lay down, rest, take vitamins. Don't end up in hospitals, because this is what happens when you end up in hospitals. So, and I wish, I wish she would have stayed in Florida. I wish she would have just stayed home, because she'd be alive right now. She'd be, bored maybe at home and maybe having to do videos from her house and unable to attend the New Year's party. But she wasn't even able to attend anyway. She ended up dying in a California hospital. Kristen had sworn she would not set foot in California ever again. And ironically enough, she died at a California hospital, an LA hospital, Camarillo Hospital. She was happy in Florida. She had just remodeled her house and done all kinds of things and just wanting to live her life, her passion, her fight. And of all places in the world, she died at a California hospital, Los Angeles hospital. Life is unpredictable, guys. Never take anything for granted. Listen to your body. Be well with God at all times. You never, come on, guys. Kristen W., our big, strong star, right? And she dies at a California hospital of something that doesn't even make sense. Because she was strong. If you've done wrong in your life, repent now. Do it now. Live in peace. Listen to God. Listen to your body. I got COVID a while back. And as you know, I have dozens of animals that I take care of. And it's really hard for me to stay put. It really is. it's hard for me not to get up and want to go outside, and I have a million things to do. But guess what? Those animals need me. They need me. I can't, maybe it was worth it for me to be gone for 5 or 6 days as opposed to ending up in the hospital and dying from something, So don't politicize disease. Take care of yourselves. And just listen to your body. Don't listen to the news. Don't listen to what people say. Listen to your own body. Do your own research. Find out what strengthens you and your immunity. Because obviously hospitals aren't doing anything, or not much anyway. They let Kristen die at this hospital. So no antibiotic was strong enough to combat her bacterial pneumonia. Oxygen wasn't enough. I know what I did to get my stepdad out of this pneumonia and out of this coma. I can't tell you because I'm not a doctor and I can't share it, especially publicly. But I know what I did. And at the time, I just did it because I thought to myself, like Trump says, what the hell do you have to lose? And I told my mom the same thing. What the hell do we have to lose? They gave him 3 days to live. Just do it. Just do what I'm telling you. And then about a year later, as I was talking to a doctor in Orange County, California, she told me exactly what I did. And I said, oh, okay, now I understand. It was the right thing to do. I kind of knew, and from my experience and my knowledge, I knew that was going to help. But then she explained to me exactly what was done. And that's why he was able to wake up from that induced coma and walk out of the hospital. And the doctor said he had a miraculous recovery. Trust yourselves. Again, for those of you who just started following me, you may not know this about me, but one of my big issues and my big topics is about medicine. And it's a risky topic because a lot of people get killed for it. They really do. They get killed for it, And doctors have been put in jail. They've gotten killed for talking about stuff. But that's what happened with Kristen. She did try leaving the hospital on Tuesday. But she wasn't strong enough. She was only strong enough to get to a car and then go right back in. That's all she could do. So she will be missed. We're all still in shock. Her friends in Florida, her friends in California. Apparently she has a brother and a sister. Her dad did pass away as well, which probably, again, didn't help with her immunity once she found out. I believe her dad passed away on Tuesday. And that was probably very shocking for her, especially in the hospital and with everything she had going on. So, but after she went back in the hospital, I guess it all went downhill from there. None of us are immune to disease, guys. Illness, disease. And take care of yourselves. Because apparently these people are not going to take care of you. If they did, Kristen would be alive right now. And she's not. She's dead. And as far as I know, they're talking about having a memorial for her or whatever. I don't know. I'm just more. At this point, I'm just more concerned about her being in California and her body and everything else. But she did leave a person of an emergency contact, obviously. And the hospital won't give anybody any information. I called the hospital last night and they even told me they didn't have a patient under that name. I was like, come on, really? You're going to do that now? What is this, a hospital or a jail? Or I'm not calling the White House for classified information. I'm calling about a patient that we're all concerned about. The way they behave is like, why would you ever want to end up at one of these places? They were literally so rude to me when I called last night. I said, I just want to know about my friend, and I gave him her name. Oh, we don't have a patient under that name. I was like, come on. I even have the name of her bed, the number of her bed, the ICU unit. So today her friend is going to go to the chaplain and, I don't know, find out exactly what's going to happen. And if I know anything more, I'll let you guys know. It took a month to get your sister's body back. Oh my God. It's so sad. I can't imagine her leaving Florida and never crossing her mind that she would never return to her beautiful house, I spent a couple days at her house in Florida, and she had a really nice life, very peaceful, very, just very happy life, Her dogs died last year, so thankfully she doesn't have any dogs. She was going to get more. But for some reason, her dogs died last year, the year before. Both of them at very close to one another. She had 2 Dobermans, and they died. They both died. But at least they're not home waiting for her. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. So anyway, I know that a lot of people at this point, thousands of people are wondering what happened to her and just want to know more. And I just wanted to share that with you because I know I wanted to know more. That's normally how it goes when you care about someone. So that's what happened. No strong enough antibiotics, and refused to give her oxygen to take with her. Her dad died. She tried leaving the hospital, couldn't, had to go right back in, and died yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon at some point. And she's gone. Okay, I will let you know more if I know more, but that's pretty much it. Right now, I guess just her memorial, her whatever. I'm not sure who is going to be responsible for her body at this point. I don't know. It's so sad. It really is. It's so sad. I gotta go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.